First Down Friday Night Tailgate Corner is sponsored by PUBLIX.
What's up, sports fans? Welcome to another edition of First Down Friday Night right here on Fox 54. We're kicking off tonight's show once again with the Tailgate Corner. And as always, we want to thank our friends at PUBLIX for hooking us up with these great tailgate meals. Of course, we'll start off with our lovely sandwich tray. You know the deal by now. I am a ham and cheese guy, so I see my ham and cheese sandwiches on here. But we've also got some turkey. We also got some salami. And of course, you got your lettuce, your tomatoes, and your pickles. You add a little toppings like your mayonnaise and your mustard, and you've got a great sandwich to just eat before your football activities. Now, speaking of football, everything is always good with the sweet treats that we always have for the football games. We've got some lovely brownie treats. We've got the chocolate brownies. We've got the chocolate brownies with the nuts, and then we even got some chocolate cream brownies in the mix too. So you got to love that, and keep me away from this because I could definitely devour this the entire time. Check this out. We've got a lovely meat tray that's got the turkey, the ham, the salami, and then we got the multiple cheeses in the mix as well. Now, I'm not a cheese expert, but I can tell you that all of this stuff is going to be good because some of our other co-workers have been here in the mix, you know, kind of tasting it early on in. We've got a new addition as well. We've got the popcorn chicken bites, everyone. Yes. We got a whole lot of these, so I'm pretty sure we'll be able to spread this around the entire news station this evening. This is what we got this week on the Tailgate Corner. If you want to order any of this, just make sure you head over to the PUBLIX website. All right, boys and girls, that'll do it for the Tailgate Corner right here on First Down Friday Night. We've got the Week 5 edition coming up right now on Fox 54.
Fridays are for football. This is First Down Friday Night, sponsored by Regenesis, Bank Independent, and PUBLIX. Now your hosts, Mo Carter and Nick Kuzma.
All right, sports fans, I've already got you situated and straight for what you're going to eat this weekend. Now let's actually talk about football on another episode of First Down Friday Night. Alongside Nick Kuzma, I'm Mo Carter, and it's Week 5, so we've reached the midway point, Nick.
Yeah, we're very much in the middle of everything. I'm not going to lie, as the intro was running there, I leaned across and asked Mo, what week are we in? Because honestly, at this point, they're all starting to run together a little bit because we've been doing this now for 6 weeks.
Correct.
And I mean, like the season for high school football, like holy cow, regular season halfway over?
Halfway over, and now, you know, the race to get to the postseason is definitely in the mix for every single team that we cover across the Tennessee Valley.
And for college teams, I mean, SEC play is here as well. Obviously, Auburn started it last week, but Alabama started this week with Georgia. And, of course, that's going to be part of our table of contents. Let's roll this as the Alabama Crimson Tide and Auburn Tigers are hitting the road for huge SEC battles against top 25 teams. We'll hear from the Tide and Tigers. Plus, UNA enjoying their bye week while Alabama A&M is heading to the Sunshine State for their first SWAC game of the year.
Mother Nature could play a big role in the weekend game, so Jordan Dressman will provide us with those kickoff forecasts. Kanisha D, she's got another great story in our Spirit Spotlight series, and you can't forget about those great highlights from across the Tennessee Valley on the gridiron right here on First Down Friday Night.
All right, let's start with the Auburn Tigers. Hugh Freeze and company coming off their first loss, a 24-17 defeat at the hands of number 11 Oklahoma. Now, the Tigers have to regroup and, frankly, emotionally get past a game that many Auburn fans felt like was taken away from them due to controversial calls. This week, the team travels to College Station to play number 9 Texas A&M, led by quarterback Marcel Reed and the Aggies. They're off to a 3-0 start and are averaging 42 points per game.
I've seen enough to know that those two receivers are dynamic, and obviously Marcel Reed, we saw him last year, is super twitchy and can run it. They got a great running game, best running game we've seen. It's an excellent football team, one that will be in the playoff discussion, I'm sure.
Switching gears to the Alabama Crimson Tide, Bama is back in action this week following a bye, and this Saturday it's one of the big ones. The Crimson Tide traveling to Athens, Georgia for the first time since 2015 and just the third time this century. Now Alabama expects to have Tim Keenan and running back Jan Miller back on the gridiron, and that's huge as they get back one of the main weapons because Saturday's game is the first real chance for the Tide to prove that its poor performance at Florida State was a handicap and not who they are. against good competition.
Talking through and going through, what we've experienced together. You got to prove it on the football field, but just the way that they want to respond in practice, I think, has carried over into what we've done, at least in these home games these last 2 weeks. And so, we got to be resilient. We know there's going to be storms that we're going to have to weather in the SEC, on the road, and you got to do it. No one else is going to go do it for you.
Alabama, Georgia, and Auburn, Texas A&M, no doubt the biggest wins last year for the Tide and the Tigers. Auburn kicks off with the Aggies at 2:30, Bama UGA after that at 6:30. Well, Mo, for Alabama A&M, the real season, it really begins now. It's 3-1 with the lone loss coming at Arkansas. You really couldn't draw it much better for the first 4 games of the Sam Shade era. After a slow start to Week 4 last week, Alabama A&M powered its way past Division II Lane College, picking up a 42-point blowout win heading into SWAC play, where the road to a championship can finally be begun. The Bulldogs start the conference slate with a flight to Daytona Beach, where Bethune-Cookman, they're waiting.
Offensively, Bethune, they're a really good offensive team. Starts with the quarterback, Ransom. They've got 2 running backs that are doing a really good job for them, and then Huggins at receiver. But also they've got some other receivers that are playing well. Very balanced on offense. They actually had over 500 yards of offense against South Carolina State 2 weeks ago, and then almost 500 yards of offense against Edward Waters this past week. So we got our work cut out for us defensively going up against this offense.
Now, one of the biggest storylines heading into Saturday's game will once again be the health of the quarterback, Cornelius Quad Brown IV, missing last week with an ankle injury. He sprained the joint during the Bulldogs' Week 3 win in Nashville at Tennessee State. Now, early in the week, Coach Sam Shade said that his QB is questionable for this week's game against Bethune-Cookman. He also gave his thoughts on backup Eric Hanley, who threw for 205 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions in Quad's absence against Lane College.
You take away the interception, I thought he did a really good job of distributing the football to a number of different guys. And, I felt like we were balanced overall as an offense. I felt like the running game did get going. Got some guys in the end zone running the football. So, I felt like it was a balanced attack for us. Depending on Quad's situation this weekend, if Eric's got to go, we've got confidence in him.
All right, the Bulldogs will square off against the Wildcats on Saturday down in Daytona Beach, Florida. Bethune-Cookman joined the SWAC in 2021, and Alabama A&M has yet to beat them in Daytona Beach. Kickoff on tomorrow. It's set for 2 p.m. You can watch it live on SWAC TV. Now, after a rough first month of the season, North Alabama football gets a much-needed bye week before beginning its conference slate.
Yeah, to start the year, the Lions are 1-3, and their lone win came against a Division II opponent. The Lions fought valiantly over the weekend, making an impressive comeback, but coming an extra point away from an upset win in regulation over FCS number 4 Illinois State. But just like so many times versus ranked teams during this Brent Dearman era, close, but not close enough, as the Lions fell 38-36 in double overtime. It's UNA's first bye week, so no Coach Brent Dearman availability this week. So instead, we caught up with the play-by-play voice of the Lions. That's Benjamin Ray. He says quarterback play needs to be the main focus during the bye week for the offense.
I think you still want to shore up the pass attack a little bit. Ari Patu has looked good in 2 of the 4 games. Destin Wade has looked good in 2 of the 4 games. So who's going to be the guy moving forward? That they both had a lot of highs. They both had a little bit of lows as well. So can one of them solidify themselves? I'm not sure what that quarterback picture will be like going forward, but they've both shown that they can do it in the 4th quarter. So that's a good problem to have. Now, who can get them off to a better start kind of in those first and second quarters?
Patu has 4 total touchdowns so far this year. Wade has 3. The Lions open United Athletic Conference play at Abilene Christian 1 week from tomorrow.
First Down Friday night, UNA Play of the Game is sponsored by Bank Independent.
All right, let's go back to last week. The UNA player of the game goes to KJ Fields for the second week in a row. The Bob Jones alumnus making a sensational 25-yard touchdown grab in the fourth quarter of the Lions' loss at number 4 Illinois State. It was almost a game winner. Look at that grab right there. Great concentration as
crazy.
well.
Yeah, crazy.
The UNA player of the game is sponsored by Bank Independent.